Live from WSLS, this is 10 News at 6, working for you.
A very active Monday across southwest, central, and southside Virginia with several severe thunderstorm warnings issued from the National Weather Service. We'll let you know when things will start to calm down and when we're going to turn downright hot across the region, when temperatures could hit 95 or even above coming up.
Plus, some much-needed renovations coming to one school district.
We move forward, and that's what we try to do here. We do what's best for our kids.
The work to fix aging infrastructure and the more than $500 million to help schools across the Commonwealth. Good evening and thanks for joining us for 10 News at 6. I'm Lindsay Ward.
I'm John Carlin. We'll want to start right off tonight with your weather. We're tracking some severe storms, especially in the New River Valley. Meteorologist
Jeff Hanowich is here. And so, Jeff, earlier today, we saw some down power lines, a tree that fell on this home you see here on your screen in the Bonsack area of Roanoke County. So quite a busy, active afternoon.
Yeah, we've had more reports just come in over the last 10 minutes or so of trees down in places like Grayson County in Pulaski County, Fairlawn in Pulaski County. Watching that area also between, say, Pulaski, Claytor Lake, and also Allisonia. So we're going to be anticipating maybe a couple more storm reports coming in from you folks, the viewers, because that was a nasty cell that lasted for about 15 to 20 minutes and has since weakened a little bit. We still have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Carroll, Floyd, Montgomery, and Pulaski counties. This in effect until 6:15. They still have the tornado possible tag on this, but the rotation has diminished greatly over the last probably 15 minutes or so. Another severe thunderstorm warning with the cell that is to the north, moving to the south. This in effect for parts of Carroll, Floyd, and Pulaski counties, includes areas such as Hillsville and Laurel Fork. Right now, the worst of the weather near Indian Valley and also into portions of Pulaski County, but it won't take long for the worst of the weather to shift more into Carroll County. Also have a flash flood warning in effect until 11:15 for parts of Appomattox and Campbell counties. The good news is where you have this flash flood warning right now, it is dry with the rain shifting more to the south. However, there's a little more rain to the north, which could impact you folks in and around the Hill City over the next 25 to 35 minutes. Also seeing very heavy rain out across parts of Rockbridge County, say near Natural Bridge, south into parts of Amherst County. All of this tracking to the southeast at a clip of around about 15 miles per hour at its fastest. Most of this moving perhaps even slower than that. So overall, we anticipate the storms to taper off as we head later this evening. We're cranking up the heat ahead, and storm chances do indeed stay low once we get beyond this evening. Lindsay, John.
All right, thank you, Jeff. The man charged in the death of a 2-year-old Christiansburg boy from January of 2019 entered a guilty plea this morning. The Commonwealth's attorney said Mackenzie Hellman's story changed several times, and none of them aligned with the child's injuries. From conversations with officers on scene to interviews after the child's death to text conversations, nothing added up.
The defendant also referred to SDM as a moron and told Kayla to quote, stop worrying about his stupid ass. An autopsy was conducted by Dr. Tharp of the medical examiner's office. She noted that SDM had 22 separate blunt injuries, bruises, and scrapes to his head.
Hellman was convicted earlier this year for his role in sex crimes performed on the baby boy. He's already serving life sentences for that. He faces up to 45 additional years when he is sentenced next month. The Bedford Police Department says the man arrested for a homicide last week was friends with the victim. Not only that, police say Tyler Booth, who you see here on your screen, was roommates with Braden Michael Bailey. Booth is charged with second-degree murder. Police say no weapons were involved. It's the town's second homicide this month following an accidental shooting over the July 4th weekend.
You know, to see us lose the life of 2 people in our town in a month's time is very sad for us. It's sad. We're our condolences to both families. It's sad for both families to lose someone, a loved one, and both of them were very young people.
Police are continuing to investigate.
New at 6 tonight, Grayson County schools are getting a major facelift after earthquakes and dealing with aging infrastructure. 10 News reporter Alexis Davila shows us how more than $1 million worth of renovations will turn things around.
Cracks on the walls and floors ripped out. 3 Grayson County schools are getting a makeover. Targeting schools that are about 50 to 70 years old, Superintendent Kelly Wilmore says it was time to remove asbestos, improve air quality, and revamp classrooms to make it more safe.
We want to do it right this time so that whoever's taking my job 20 years down the line is not going to have to worry about the same thing.
As columns support a crumbling stage in a high school and a new annex building is being worked on, all the renovations will impact more than 800 students. Part of the renovations includes fixing the cracks that was left behind here after an earthquake nearly a year ago. In the past, repairs were not able to be made because of limited time and space.
We had earthquakes last year. We had floods last year. We had a little bit of a hurricane last year. We had all kinds of stuff we dealt with, but we move forward, and that's what we try to do here. We'll do what's best for our kids.
COVID funds will pay the $1.3 million price tag. Renovations are delayed, so the first day of school is pushed back to August 26. In Grayson County, Alexa Davila, 10 News, working for you.
New tonight, more than $500 million is going to help improve air quality in Virginia schools. Half of that money will come from the American Rescue Plan. The rest is from local funding. Governor Northam says it will complete nearly all of the currently planned school HVAC or HVAC projects. That's designed to help with clean air and reduce the risk for airborne illnesses, including COVID-19.
Health experts say they believe the Delta variant is all over the state of Virginia. That's because of the significant increase in the number of cases. New River Health District's director says although there's been no confirmed cases of the variant there, she doesn't think they're in the clear. Even with some breakthrough cases for those who are vaccinated, she says the shot is working effectively.
Certainly, the numbers of breakthrough cases that end up with hospitalizations and people dying are exceedingly low. So that's a success for the vaccine.
If you're still hesitant about the vaccine, she recommends talking to your physician or health department.
Our next stop in our In Your Town series is here in Appomattox. I'll bring you some of the sights and sounds coming up.
A decade-long sewage overflow in Lynchburg has city leaders working toward a fix. The project would improve water quality and keep your bill from going up. The Hill City already has one of the highest yearly sewer rates in the Commonwealth. They're asking for $50 million in federal emergency aid. The city has agreed to handle half of that. Experts say heavy rains triggered overflows that drained raw sewage and stormwater into the James River.
Lynchburg has a number of senior citizens, and there are a number of low-income people. Anytime we can reduce the rates for the taxpayers, that's a great day for our city, and it's a great day for the Commonwealth.
With the money, the city could fix the problem within the next 5 years.
And for the first time in decades, two-way traffic is back in downtown Lynchburg. The complete project is a three-phase transition on Main Street and Church Street. Phase 1 started today, shutting down Main Street between 11th and 12th Streets. That will allow for new traffic lights. Phase 2 and 3 will be the full-length conversion on Main and Church Street. Leaders say the goal is to ease confusion for visitors and increase business visibility.
You're looking at a live picture from our Roanoke-Blacksburg Airport sky cam. It's quiet now at the airport where we're starting to see some popcorn thunder showers developing right along the Roanoke and Appomattox County line. We'll show you the radar and let you know where the worst weather is right now coming up in your forecast.
WSLS 10 in your town, sponsored by Bank of Appomattox.
In Your Town is back this week, and our 7th stop is in Appomattox.
10 News reporter Tim Harfman takes us there to show us what the area has to offer.
Some neighbors consider Appomattox a small community, including restaurants and outdoor recreation. But what's driving tourism is what the area is most known for, its role in the Civil War. The sign in town says it all, where our nation reunited.
I look at it as the place this country began to heal.
Historian Don Jones heads the Appomattox Tourism Committee, and he was our guide along the way. In town, you'll find the site of the Battle of Appomattox Station, where on April 8, 1865, General George Custer captured and used General Robert E. Lee's wagon trains against the cavalry.
What was left of Lee's reserve artillery, sealing Lee's fate.
That leads us to the Courthouse National Historic Park. Step inside the McLean House and into the parlor, where Lee surrendered to General Ulysses S. Grant April 9, 1865.
About 3 o'clock, it was all said and done, and everybody went home and shook hands. It was not the end of the war. It was the surrender of the Army of Northern Virginia.
General Robert E. Lee established his headquarters and held his last council of war here.
Learn more about the surrender during an audio tour on a nearby nature walk. Appomattox County offers 8 hiking trails and 3 state parks within a 20-minute drive. You'll also find the American Civil War Museum, housing a large collection of artifacts. But neighbors say the area has more to offer.
Most people know about the history, and I would say we're more than just the history.
Everyone knows everyone, and it's just a very loving community.
It's a very quaint, small town, safe, and everyone is extremely friendly in Appomattox.
Later this week, we'll have more, including the symbolism of the love sign and park behind me, as well as a secret cabin and a new museum focused on continuing a legacy. In Appomattox, in your town, Tim Harfman, 10 News, working for you.
Your local weather authority, always watching and tracking for you from the JES Weather Center.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms continue to rule the roost across southwest, central, and south side Virginia. And you'll notice the movement of these to the south, maybe a slight jog to the southeast, and they're only moving between about 10 and 15 miles per hour. So they're not swift movers. Want to take you on a couple of stops here on the radar. We're going to show you where we have the only severe thunderstorm warning right now, and it is in effect until 6:45 for parts of Carroll, Floyd, and Pulaski counties. This is a cell that likely produced some damage out across Pulaski County, getting reports of trees down in places like Allisonia and Fairlawn. Thankfully, this has weakened, but it is moving to the south and will likely impact you folks in Carroll County here very, very soon. Already starting to see the rain pick up in places like Laurel Fork. Eventually, you're going to start to see the rain pick up at places like Carroll County High School and eventually into Hillsville. We think that will happen sometime between about 6:30 and 6:45. Again, movement south at about 15 miles per hour. Other thing I want to let you know is we're dealing with about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Earlier it was about a 70-mile-per-hour storm. Thankfully, the winds inside the storm have weakened a little bit. I want to also take you further north into Giles County, areas south of Pearisburg, right along, looks like Highway 42, also along Highway 100. That is where we are seeing some pretty nasty weather in places like Simmonsville. So again, some strong thunderstorms being reported out across western parts of Giles County. Last stop on the radar will take us in between Covington and Lynchburg, areas like Clifton Forge, Iron Gate, Natural Bridge, areas around Eagle Rock, seeing some very nasty weather. This also pushing to the southeast. Not much happening in Lynchburg, but there's a cell to the west of you. Possibly that cell will impact you over the next 20 to 30 minutes if it doesn't fall apart before it gets to you. Future tracker showing that by 10, 11 o'clock, most of this energy should be gone, okay? But for about the next couple of hours, we will still have the chance for some stronger storms. After about 8, I think the severe threat goes away, but we're going to have some rain lingering a little bit beyond that. Tuesday, 7 a.m., we start out the day dry. After, say, 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow, we start to see a few more thunder showers developing, especially in areas south of 460. Any activity will then dwindle as we head into Tuesday evening. Wednesday will be a day where we start out mainly sunny. By Wednesday afternoon, a stray thunder shower or 2 cannot be ruled out, but you need to know Tuesday and Wednesday look like quieter days for us. Right now, it is 84 in Roanoke, 77 Lynchburg, 85 in Danville, 70 to 78 out across the New River Valley, with places like Wytheville being a little warmer than Blacksburg. High pressures roll. It's going to play a huge role across the country here this week. Come tomorrow, we're going to have high pressure situated over the Great Plains, and that means big time heat in the central United States. So we're going to tap into some of that heat with highs mainly in the 90s for us here all the way from Tuesday, perhaps even into Friday. So we're going to have about 3-4 days where temperatures are going to be skyrocketing. We're looking at highs ranging between 87 and 95 on Tuesday. Overall, average highs at this time of year between 82 and 89. I don't think we're going to break any records on Wednesday and Thursday because the record numbers are really, really hot. Hotter than we're going to get. Wednesday, we need to get between 100 and 104. Thursday, we need to get 99 to 102, and I don't think we get there, but temperatures are still going to be well above normal, like middle 90s as we head in those 2 days. Overnight tonight, 63 to 70 for overnight lows with patchy fog developing after the evening thunder showers end. Hot and humid tomorrow. Few thunder showers possible south of 460 after lunchtime. Highs in the 80s and low to mid 90s. Your extended forecast. Hottest days Wednesday, Thursday, 96. 91 Friday, upper 80s Saturday, Sunday, and Monday were for the most part dry here Tuesday through Thursday. A slight increase in pop-up thunder showers by Friday.
Here's your poll, and the Hokies pick third and the Wahoos fifth in the Coastal behind Carolina and Miami. Clemson, the top choice to win the whole thing, topping the Atlantic. NC State and BC expected to make some noise. Your medal count, China, leading overall there with 18 total. Japan leading the gold count, the U.S. right in the thick of it, and of course, plenty more medals to be given out. News and notes for you. Texas and Oklahoma informed the Big 12 they won't be renewing their media rights, but this could take a while. Jonathan Allen is now a really, really rich man again in the All-Star game in Pulaski for the Appy League coming up tomorrow night. Guys, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Appy. NBC Nightly News coming up next.
And we'll see you back here at 7.